afternoon, everybody. It's turned out to be a beautiful afternoon. We had some rain this morning first thing, and didn't look as if it was going to be very nice at all. But the sun's been out, it's dried up lovely. So I thought I'd hop on and do a quick update because it's been a while. We were away last week. I did put up a few small short videos of our trips out while we were away. It was lovely. But then when we got back on Friday, I spent all day Saturday outside in the garden, planting everything out practically from the greenhouse. So I was absolutely shattered. But it's a lovely feeling to have got it all in. And of course now we have this horrendous rain forecast for tomorrow and Thursday. So it's all going to get battered, which will be a great shame, but unfortunately there's nothing much I can do about that. I can't possibly bring all the pots I've planted up inside. They will have to take the chances, won't they? Especially the dahlias. So yeah, so I thought we'll go outside in a moment and I'll just show you what I've been up to. Now on Friday, subject to the weather behaving itself, which it's supposed to do, it's not going to be sunny, but it's supposed to be dry by Friday, we're hoping to have another attempt at going to Harlow Car. You may remember, those of you who watched anything else I did earlier, that we were going to go with my sister and her partner, and it was just horrendous, the weather, and we didn't end up going. So just Andrew and I are going to go on Friday. My sister today actually is down at the Chelsea Flower Show, lucky thing, so that's really exciting. So we'll be see if I can spot her on the telly this evening, because yes, it's Chelsea this week, and I'm going to show you the irises. You can probably just see them actually through the window. I bought them last year after Chelsea. They actually were on the show garden. I think it was the garden that won Best in Show last year had some of this particular iris. And I managed to buy the last ones. I'm nearly out of stock. And they're just coming out now and they look absolutely beautiful. So I will show you those. So bear with, I shall take you outside momentarily. Right, here we are outside. Might be a little bit noisy, I can only apologise. There's always a car going up the lane at the back. But I thought it might be a little bit quieter this week than next when it's half term and there'll be children running around and playing out. Oh, and there's a dog barking as well. So, first thing I want to show you, I'm going to take you down here and show you my verbascum. Now I planted this 3 years ago, maybe more. It was beautiful, and it disappeared, and I never saw it again. And it's come back. And there it is. Isn't it gorgeous? I'm really pleased to see that. The orange poppies. You know, every time I film a video, it's as if I'm sat in the middle of the city centre with a racket I have to put up with. I can only apologise. Look at the alliums. Aren't they gorgeous? The peony has done what I thought it would. It was at its best last week when we were away. Just going over now, unfortunately. But it has been gorgeous. My daughter did send us a photograph, bless her. She said she would when it was looking its best. Not much else to show. It's a lavender, full of bees. This is going over now as well. My wonderful cistus. And then I will have to give it a prune when it's finished. Not much else to say. Oh, yes, I know what to show you. Look here. If you remember, I had a dead viburnum which we dug out. And I planted a catinus in its place. So we did that when we came back last week. Got the rest of the roots out and dug a big hole. I've got some compost in there, some food. Give it a good start, and I've left the stake in loosely tied to a stake just to give it a bit of support. So yeah, so that's quite exciting, see what that does. And believe it or not, this hellebore is still flowering. No new flowers, but since February. It's amazing, it's the most amazing plant. Fuchsia's got some flowers on it, but the dead bit in the middle still dead. So I've cut out the woody bits and hoping the green will sort of take over and it will look less bald, shall we say. Another Bascom here coming up. I can't remember which one it is, but and the pots, I've redone them. So these are all my summer ones already, my summer display. So we've got some annuals that I grew from seed in this one. And then we've got dahlia, 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 dahlia. And then we have some more, that's some wildflower seeds that I planted. The clematis are just going over, but they've been gorgeous. Never grown them before, but I'd certainly grow them again. I hope they come again next year. They've been beautiful. Having said they've gone, there's one that's still in bud down there, but I don't think it's going to do much now. Loads of buds on the Philadelphuses, because we've got a few. Another pot of things I grew from seeds. Nasturtiums and poached eggplants. Zinnias. And here they are, the Fiesta Resistance. These stunning, stunning irises. Look at that. I need to document these because they may not come again. This may be the last time you see them. Loads of buds still to come on at the back, look. Really pleased with that. Lupin hasn't flowered, but I'll put it back in the greenhouse over winter and maybe next year, because I don't think they always do flower in the first year or two, do they? The hydrangea's coming out, it's covered in buds. Another Philadelphus. Yes, I do like Philadelphus, so I have a few. No sign of anything on the salvias. Apart from cuckoo spit. This is the other one, this is the blue one. It looks fairly healthy, but it's not in flower, not yet. We'll see, we'll see. Dwarf lilac's just going over, the white one. And Jessie, her rose bush, look, it's got lots of buds on. The big bud at the back there. That's looking great. This is still looking nice, but it's just turning. And this is Hannah's beans. These are your beans, Hannah. I don't know, a pot of her own beans, because they don't have the time or the interest in looking after them. I could have just given her the plants and said, there you go. But I thought, no, it's easier if I just plant them up and look after them for them here. And then hopefully when they get some beans, tell them they're ready and she can come and pick them. Some more wildflowers. And another Philadelphus. And remember me telling you about Phil, who was on his last chance? He's got some flowers. That's it though. Oh, just a minute. Sorry about that. That's nothing I could do about the noise sometimes. Just cut and come back on. As you can probably see, talking about that he'd finally got some flowers on, he's riddled with black fly. And he does get riddled with black fly every year, and I'm wondering if it's part of the problem. I have got an eco-friendly spray that's like the equivalent of soapy water type spray. Doesn't really seem to have helped him. It helped the rose that was covered in flies. That's better, but so difficult. Don't know what to do about that. Society's looking better now. It's had a haircut. Pleased with that. Look at this campanula. Can you hear the bees? Get a bit closer. You can usually hear the bees buzzing about on it. I've tried chopping the heads off some of these violets to stop them seeding everywhere, but it's a thankless task and I'm frightened of cutting off things that haven't flowered yet. So it's a case of managing it, I think. Digging it up when it's somewhere I don't want it to be, and if needs be, put a weed killer on it when it's somewhere I don't want it to be. That's my graveyard of pots with all my spring bulbs hidden behind the sofa. And I did another pot here, which has got some nice scented stock in it, but it doesn't look very healthy. So I'm not too hopeful for that. But I have got some scented pelargoniums coming, which I may replace the night scented stock with that. The sunflower has also got some night scented stock seeds scattered in it, so I'm hoping they might come up. And the idea being when this door is open into the conservatory, you'll smell it from inside. And my wistaria's got buds on it. Can you see? And it's very late. Can you tell that's a bud? You might not be able to. I thought there were snails from a distance. I thought, oh, I've got snails crawling up my wisteria. And then I got closer and I realised that they're not the buds. Can you see it? Let me move that out the way. There. Look at that. So, it's very exciting, but I don't know if they're actually going to do anything. It's never flowered before because it's quite new. And I think it has to establish itself for a while. This will be, what, 3rd year, possibly, that it's been in? So yeah, I'm hoping it will, and it'll eventually grow up this wall. Exciting though, isn't it? And now that allium. This is a nice allium, but we've only had one. I mentioned it before. Yeah, it's a lovely one, is that? All those little individual flowers. We usually have quite a few, and that's the only one that's come up. So that's a shame. So in here, I did weed this strawberry bed eventually, and it does look a bit better, and it was a little bit bald in the middle. So I watch Emma. I've mentioned Emma's Allotment Diaries before. Give her a watch if you get a chance, because she's really good and she's really funny. And she'd heard somewhere that if you put onions in with your strawberries, it helps to deter the birds and the flies and all the other nasties. So I've put some onions in the middle of there. Obviously they're not coming up yet because I only did it on Saturday. So yeah, different, and it's haven't any space to grow them anywhere else. The sweet peas are slow, but they're coming. They are coming, but they aren't romping away exactly. Say they've been in the longest of anything. But so far, so good. They're not getting attacked by slugs, which is good. The blueberry's looking quite good. I've moved it because it was a little bit in the way and I couldn't walk amongst the beds as easily. Potatoes, look at these. Just ridiculous. So these are the first earlies, which are smaller than the second earlies. I think they did this last year. I don't know why. Perhaps the height of them doesn't necessarily mean that they're ready to harvest. I know you don't go by the height, do you? You go by if it starts to flower, or if they go yellow, then it's time to harvest. And then the ones at the end here, this is the main crop. So that's that last bucket there. That's our Christmas Day roast potatoes in there. So yeah, they're a little bit, they've only just been put in. So, and this bed is finally planted up. We've got carrots, Brussels sprouts, so that's a bit more Christmas dinner, and sweet corn. Now I've never grown sweet corn, and I know it isn't easy. And I was hoping to grow a square of 4 because they need to be planted in a square so that they can self-pollinate. And one died, so there's 3. So they're in a triangle. And I'll give them a good shake if we get to that point where we've got some flowers on them. So I'm not very hopeful about the sweet corn because I know it is not a beginner's vegetable, and I still consider myself a beginner when it comes to vegetables. I'm thrilled with the beans. Some of these are beans that I've grown from seed. How tall they've got, some of them, look up right up there. And some of them are ones I bought. So they're 2 types. They're runner beans, all runner beans. I did lose 3 nearly to the slugs. Well, they haven't eaten through the stalk, so I've left them in. They just got the leaves mainly, so you never know, they may come again. So we'll see how we do with that. The peas, I'm thrilled with my peas. Now again, I grew these from seed. And look how tall they are. Go right up. 3/4 of the way up the wigwam. They were about halfway up when I planted them. So I'm really pleased with those. I've grown them from seed. My little hedgehog house. My hedgehog's been, and he has a drink and things like that. But I've come to the conclusion that it's not big enough. So I've ordered a hedgehog house. Because we know we get hedgehogs, because I've heard them snuffling about, and you see I found the poo, that's how I know he's been. So, yeah, I'm going to get a proper hedgehog house, which I think is due to come on Friday. So when I get that, I will show you it. This has been beautiful, and it smells divine. This is a dwarf lilac. A lilac, purple lilac. And that's still looking good, it isn't going over yet. But, it's a shame you can't smell it. It's beautiful. And my main disappointment so far is the rhubarb. As I've told you about it before, something's eating it, look. Never had an issue with anything eating rhubarb. But if it's eating the rhubarb leaves and leaving my beans alone, I suppose it's better than not. But this is the worst year I've had with rhubarb. And it's the only year that I've ever put manure on it, which everybody knows manure is meant to be good for rhubarb. I shan't do it again. I don't imagine getting anything worth harvesting, to be honest, this year. They sort of wither and die and then just become like little spindly ones. So, I don't know. It's been a funny year all round, really, let's face it, hasn't it? For everything. The border's looking quite nice now with a bit of a breccia still and the campanula. And I have to say, I mean, the elderflower looks lovely, as long as I stop it flowering. You've got the lovely leaves. To be careful that they don't fall over. You know, it is a lovely colour, but the first sign of a flower, I'm whipping it off. And that, of course, is the lilac, which I'm hoping will fill that space. And we might get some flowers by next year. We'll see. We'll see. So, yeah, that's about it, really. Everything's doing okay. I think. There's still not much sign of life in these dianthus, but it's early days. 3 weeks ago I planted them up. So, yeah, 2 shelves of those. The only thing, as I say, that I've still got to come is some scented pelargoniums, and I'm going to use those to replace some of the annuals that don't make it. And I think my mistake with the night scented stock really was sowing it in a tray in the greenhouse. It came nice, but I don't think it appreciates being moved. I think it's best sown as seed where it's going to flower. So, but yeah, no, I'm not too fussed. It's fine. Hopefully it'll come up in that pot, and I'll just replace it in this pot. I don't think there's any anywhere else. I think the others, that's just wildflower packets of seeds. So there's obviously cornflowers in there, maybe a few poppies. We'll see. It's exciting. Yeah, I don't think there's any night scented stock anywhere else. I mean, this seems to have got poached egg, which is also something you're meant to really scatter in the ground where it's to flower, but that seems to have taken okay. So, I was going to say there might be a bit in here, but no, it's the California poppies, which again is another one that you're meant to really sow it where it is to flower. So I don't think I'll bother next time doing that. I think what I'll do next time is, all my tomatoes are in. 3 tomatoes there and 1 in the hanging basket. Yeah, I think I'll grow some different things next year from seed. I might do some cosmos, more sunflowers. I might do zinnias again, I don't know, to see how they do this year, because they weren't easy to germinate and they just never grew. But again, you know, we've said it before, but it bears repeating. We've had such a terribly wet winter and early spring. You know, had we had a milder, well, it wasn't cold, I suppose, but if we'd had more sun, I just think it would have, they would have germinated quicker and it would have looked better. So all I've got left in the greenhouse now, I'll just quickly show you. I've got 1 tomato plant, which is going to my sister-in-law's. And and I've got some oxeye daisies that I've pricked out, and the little lavender cuttings that I took that I'm going to give my daughter for her front garden. That's it. That's all that's in my greenhouse. Yep, it's all out. It's all out. So that's it. So as I say, hopefully I'll do a little bit of a video if I can at Harlow on Friday, and I'll show you that. And I'll post that over the weekend. So have a lovely bank holiday, everybody. I'll speak to you later. Bye.